that says a whole lot. You know what you said more importantly than anything was Dusty Rhodes and the way it was back then, and the way it made you feel back then, to go home back then. Everybody had their little piece of the action, just in that segment alone. It wasn't something that, I tell you, man, you own to something, and we've been talking about that here on the show as well. And I think they're on to something as well. What's old is new again, and I always felt like with professional wrestling, you can definitely take what they did back then and mix it with what they doing today and really make something very, very special. So, hey, man, Jeff, I appreciate you for stepping inside the Hall of Fame.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Yeah.
Appreciate it for life. Since then.
Awesome, man. Hey, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I was going to ask you, what do you think, though, about this upcoming pay-per-view, AEW Full Gear, the main event, Cody Rhodes versus Chris Jericho for the championship. Now, here's something I actually want to get your reaction to, was that they announced last week that this match has a 1 hour time limit, and if it goes to a draw, they're going to have 3 judges at ringside who will score the bout and declare a winner. What do you think of that?
The judges, remember judges could come to a draw as well. So it could
Well,
be.
there's a 3, I mean,
Well, no, I mean, one judge could see it right down the middle, and one judge see it one way, and one judge see it
That's
the other
true.
way. I mean, so it's a lot of ways to get out of.
But what do you think of that of the idea of having judges for the wrestling match?
It's different. That's the only thing I can say about it. It's different. Anytime I think when you're trying something new, and it's different, it's worth a try. You never know if it's gonna work. If you don't try it. So I think you got to put something out there, throw it out there, see if it stick. If it sticks, we go with it. It might be something that we do every 6 months, maybe once a year. You never know, but I don't think it's something that we do every pay-per-view or anything like that. So I think it's something that, like I say, if we try it, it work. Hey, let's put it in the can. Keep it for later. So yeah, I like it.
What do you think too? I know we talked a little bit about it, but Cody said now if he doesn't go out there and beat Jericho on Saturday, he never gets a shot at the championship again. How do you feel about that? I mean, it definitely speaks to his confidence, but is it a wise move?
I never look into angles, man. I never have looked into angles, especially from the outside looking in, trying to determine what's going to happen if this happened, because this is wrestling. This is not anything. This is Shakespeare. This is Romeo and Juliet. And when we start looking at it any different than that, you could literally lose yourself inside the stories, trying to figure out, what's going on here and what's going on there. So for myself, I say let's figure it out once it happens. If it happens one way, we'll go, we'll see what we're going to do. If it happens the other way, we'll figure out what we're going to do. But with wrestling, it's always like, I'll make sure you have a way out. We got to give ourselves a way out. Somehow, we got to keep the story going. Somehow, we got to. Have you ever seen All My Children? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go back to Jenny Gardner and Tad Martin. Man, I'm gonna tell you, they probably my age now and they're still on the show. But the stories literally probably tie back to 90. Seriously, and you go back, flip through the pages, and you go through it and you go, they made this correlate with this, and then that correlate with that, and then next thing somebody come back from the dead from back then. It's that kind of.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The stipulation in wrestling is a lot like in movies. They're not dead unless you see the body. If you don't see the body,
exactly, yeah,
they're coming back.
Exactly, so I always have given myself that room for it's I can make it whatever I want it to be,
Yeah.
and that's what wrestling really truly is. It's our story. It plays out the way we want it to play out, but the stories definitely has to mean something to you guys that's watching it in order for us to actually be able to, compel you to, flip that television on next week and say, let me see what's going to happen. You know what I mean? So That's what I think that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
But I know you're not into the stories and everything, or you don't want to predict. I mean, you don't want to, think about them or what have you. But if you were to make a prediction for the match on Saturday, Cody or Jericho, who pulls out? Who's the victor?
I don't know, man. I
Yeah,
don't predict wrestling matches, man,
know, but you gotta
because wrestling
pick
is
somebody.
wrestling is like I say, it's storytelling. I can tell you who's gonna win Ortiz Wilder. I can tell you who's gonna win.
Masvidal, Nate.
Exactly. Just like I called that when
Yeah.
and I told you exactly what was gonna. Who'd you call?
I called Nate.
Exactly. Did you get it right or did you get it wrong?
I got it wrong.
Normally you do. So my point
Not
is,
the boxing, but still 2-0.
yeah. My point is this: I do not, even think about predicting wrestling matches. I don't want to put myself out there like that ever, and because I've always been Shakespeare. I've always been Romeo. Not Juliet. I've always been the Phantom of the opera. Hey guys, stick around. You in the Hall of Fame.